So I kind of wanted to go over, since my last couple videos have kind of talked about like connecting with others online and how difficult it is, and also like, being able to take care of yourself and your mental health whenever you need to. I kind of wanted to give a little description that you can't really get from text always of what it actually feels like to be having a really bad anxiety attack. Now, I'm going to use like, basically like not a real example because I think it would take a lot too long to go into context, but I'm kind of just going to like illustrate a scene almost. So, basically I could, I'll want everybody to picture use yourself or me in my living room or your living room or wherever kind of like main room. Now, um basically the person that we will use as the example here is on their phone or computer, on Discord or on some kind of, app where they're messaging their friends. Um, and they are, really, really like wanting, I guess like, something from them, whether it's like a response or for them to call you or like, something like that, just like anything like that that you want them to do and you like almost feel like it has to be done right now. And the reason why you feel like it has to be done right now is because in your head, there are just thoughts racing at like a million miles an hour. You're just constantly, like thinking about how like the reasons why this person won't respond to you or why this person won't call you back or why this person won't give whatever to you. And you're just like, what do they think of me? What does this all mean? Like, am I being stupid? Or no, I'm not being stupid because this is so ridiculous, isn't it? Oh my God, it's like literally it's like that, just constantly all this shit coming in. And you feel like that the only way to make this stop is to just do it. Just like tell them, please, like make this thing happen. Please, I need you to do this for me or I'm gonna fucking die. It makes you feel like you're gonna fucking die if you don't get whatever the fuck this is. And it's because like it means something. Like, it doesn't, I'm not gonna give like a specific example, but like, whatever you're picturing, just imagine something like, yeah, like an immediate moment where you need some kind of validation or some kind of, some kind of advice or some kind of, whatever from somebody. And they're not giving it to you for whatever reason, whether malicious or not malicious at all. You feel as if every moment that it's not happening, you're going to die. And you're like pacing around your fucking room and you're just like, you feel like you have to fucking scream. You just feel like you have to start fucking screaming like a fucking baby. And you start messaging more. You send another message. You're like, maybe they just didn't get the message. Maybe they just didn't get the notification. Send another one. Send another one. And then you end up writing a really long message as well because you have so much going on. You have so much going on. You just end up typing so much that you don't even realize until after you send it that you just wrote like 2 paragraphs of shit about something that may not even need that much space to talk about. Because there's so much racing through your head that you just end up doing that without even noticing. And then maybe they don't respond to that because maybe they can't take it. But then, you're just like, this is freaking me out so much. I need to just fix this. I need to make this feeling go away. So you just keep going. You keep typing. You type another 2 paragraphs. You type another paragraph. And it gets to the point where you've typed the whole fucking novel. And then you still won't get anything. And in fact, you're less likely to get a response now, back in reality, of course. But we're not in reality right now. We're in, fucking anxiety land. So it's time to send another one. And maybe wait a day or something. Say, like, maybe wait a day. Because you're like, oh, maybe they need a day. But the next day, they're like, there's no way they would take a day to respond to my 4 paragraphs. We're going to send another one, right? And another one, and another one. And it gets to the point where it's like, you're basically ruining everything with this person. Yet you feel like you have to do it or everything will collapse. When actually you were the one doing the collapsing. You were the one going to the fucking house and knocking it down with a fucking, like, hammer or a fucking, better yet, not a hammer. That hammer's too fucking small. You got a fucking wrecking ball, goddamn crane, and you're knocking that shit into the goddamn foundation. That's what you're doing. Yet you feel like that you have to do it to keep the fucking foundation stable. It's so terrifying. And that's why I wanted to illustrate it. And that's why I've kind of been trying to be like very expressive as I talk about this. Because this is like what it feels like. And also how ridiculous it is when you look at it. That's what I'm kind of trying to give as well. The perspective from me now, looking back at this kind of thing and how ridiculous it seems. But really, I mean, again, and you can't always get this even from the paragraphs themselves. You can't sometimes get just how crazy it is. You literally feel like you have to say this because you need this person to respond. And if they don't respond, that means some insert bad thing here. They hate you, or they're like, you're gonna have something. You're not gonna be able to do something you need to do. Like whatever it is, there's something that you feel like is gonna happen if you don't get them to see what you're saying right now. So you have to just keep doing anything to get them to respond to you. Anything, anything. And you never take a step back and realize whether you actually need this so badly because it overwhelms you so much at a point where you're just like, I have to get this to stop. And the kind of awful irony of it is not only does it end up doing the destruction that you might think isn't going to happen to the relationship or to whatever task you need to do, it's not going to go away either. Doing it that way is not going to, even if they do respond, and sometimes they do, you'll just get anxious about their response. Oh shit, what is this wording they use? That must mean that they actually don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? It's an endless cycle. You think that like the moment I get this one thing, the anxiety will stop, but it doesn't. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. You're anxious. I mean, the moment you're done being anxious about one thing, you just find another thing to be anxious about. And this is why it's so important, as my last video talks about, like, to just take time off, especially with social situations. Sometimes you gotta fucking lay down and just do nothing for a while and let this shit go. Like, let this shit go through your head, even if it drives you fucking crazy while you're in bed. And I've done this before. I have absolutely laid in bed while my mind is going a million miles an hour, and I just have to let that shit, like, run its course. Just let it all go. And it's really hard to do that, but it's possible. And I have recently gotten a lot better at it, even if it took years to be able to do it to the extent I can now. But it is that you need to find a way to do it. You need to try. Because it is possible. And it never works to just be like, I'll just send a message to just like, try to get this resolved. It never works. Sometimes it even, especially even if it isn't a problem that's happening right now or just one in the past, but you feel like that they won't forgive you unless you say something. Is that actually the case? I mean, this is about anything. This doesn't even have to be about social situations. It could just be about like anything, like any task you're working on, or like like fucking even like a game you're playing, dude. You can be anxious about fucking anything, and like really, you have to just like be able to let this shit run its course, and then just sit back and wonder, do I actually need to do that? Do I actually need to do this? Am I actually like is what I'm thinking has happening actually happening? And almost all of the time, it's no. Sometimes you're not completely wrong, but like you're basically never completely right. There's always something that you're getting wrong, and when you later think about it, realize it would actually change your response pretty significantly. So you always need to just take breaks, take time for yourself, let this shit fucking go. Because it will go away eventually. It might come back later, but there will always be times where you will be clear headed and you'll be able to realize what's going on. It's just like, how many of those you have, how long they are, that requires, time and, work at it. But you have to try. It's never going to work to just let yourself do whatever when you're anxious. You have to try to, like, hold yourself down, basically. Pretend that you were like in a room with yourself and just like, put yourself in a fucking chokehold and just say, do not fucking do anything, you idiot. It's like, do that to yourself. Do not let yourself do anything when you're in that state. Just let yourself fucking sit the fuck down. Just sit the fuck down. Just even if you have to keep thinking about it, just keep thinking about it then. Do not do anything. For the love of God. Dude, I could have, I mean, to end this, I could just say, like, my fucking life would have been a lot better for years if I just sat the fuck down and said, do not do anything. Right now, just go play fucking Mario or something and just do not do fucking shit. Just let it go. Do not fucking turn off Discord, throw your fucking phone out the window, fuck this shit, lay down, take a fucking nap, dude. Like, it will change your life. If you're like me and you do that shit when you're anxious and you just let yourself kind of do shit like that and you aren't able to like easily control yourself, try to start, even if you have to start small. Like, even just like try a little, like, just like, to stave yourself off for a little bit. Take it step by step. You gotta try it. It will make your life infinitely better. That's all I gotta say. Never let anxiety win out in the, the argument of whether you should do something. It will never be good.